Okay guys, in today's video, I'm going to share some of my experiences when dealing with dealers during my first boat purchase. Stay tuned, it's coming up. So I'm making this video today based on a comment that I received from a viewer on one of my videos talking about how I was basically rude to the dealer. You know, I thought a lot about that. It's one of those things that I don't think I was rude at all. But then again, for some of you, you might not understand kind of people, I don't know, north of DC, because granted guys, when I go south of DC, Virginia, North Carolina, and I get, you know, reaccustomed to Southern hospitality, I'm taken aback, all right? I'm not used to that anymore, having lived up here for so long. And, you know, the commenter had said that, oh, because I told the guy that I wasn't gonna buy from him, that I was being rude. I was telling him that, hey, you've got another person in the back that you're dealing with. You're already talking with me, taking away from that other person. Don't waste your time on me because you're a dealer in Texas. I'm just down here dreaming and walking around and looking at boats. It's my first time there. I'm not gonna buy a boat. I'm not gonna drive to Texas to get one. I'm not gonna ship one from Texas. So, you know, I told him just straight up. I said, you know, obviously I'm not gonna buy a boat from you because I had just told him I lived in Maryland. Now, do those type of transactions occur? Absolutely. I think Ritas Marine told me they shipped a Skeeter or something all the way to Australia. So those type of transactions do occur, but for me, going through the first boat purchase of my life, I wasn't gonna buy one all the way down in Texas and then bring it all the way up here to Maryland or pay to ship it or anything like that. So I told him not to waste his time. So that's what this viewer actually thought was rude. But you know, when dealing with these dealers during the process of buying your first boat, please don't waste their time, guys. They're human beings. You know, they are looking to make a sale sometimes, but you know, don't waste their time. Don't be that person that just comes in there, talks a lot of game. Just be truthful about it. Hey, I'm either gonna buy today or I'm not gonna buy today. When you're ready to pull that trigger, you're gonna pull that trigger. And we're gonna talk about some of those times later on in this video. But yeah, so overall, I want you to understand that they deal with that. They deal with that every day of the week. They deal with people calling in, trying to lowball them. You know, oh, it's a $60,000 boat, brand new. I'll give you 49 for it. I'll give you 50. No, guys, that's just not gonna happen because someone's gonna come along with the money to purchase that boat at a reasonable price. Now, don't let that discourage you, and you know, don't take that as a, oh, I can't make an offer on a boat. You can absolutely negotiate the prices of these boats, and you should negotiate the prices of these boats. And again, I'm gonna get down to that here in a little bit, but overall, I want you to demand a better service. You know, if you're on their premises and they haven't spoken to you in 30 minutes, you know, they've seen you, yeah, you're just browsing, but if they haven't come up and just said something like, hey man, I'm here for you. If you need any questions, just let me know. I don't want to bother you or something, but when let me know when you're ready. You know, something as simple as that. But if they just, you know, glance over at you and, you know, go on about their business, you know, stuff like that doesn't set well with me. You as a customer should demand better service because you're about to drop anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 on a bass boat. And yes, there are bass boats out there that cost $100,000. And hey, I don't agree with it. Maybe you don't agree with it either. I don't care. That's just the way of the world. That's the way these things are priced. We can cry about it all day long, or we can just go about our business and get a boat that is both affordable and, you know, has things that we want in our price range. You know, so you've got to do that, but demand a better service. And that's one thing that I can definitely say about Ritas Marine. Completely unsponsored, guys. Yeah, I'm wearing their cap right now, but I have no affiliation with Ritas Marine beyond the fact that I bought my boat there. So, you know, their customer service, they're from the get-go, from the purchasing to the finance paperwork to the, you know, boat paperwork overall, to meeting Sean Wida, to going through the steps of the process. It was a great experience, and I can't thank them enough for that experience, you know, and that's why I have no problem promoting someone like Ritas Marine, saying, yeah, absolutely, go buy your boat there because I know they're gonna take good care of you. And I'm gonna go through a few other marine sales dealerships that I think will take great care of you too. I might mention one or two that probably won't take good care of you. Next, be prepared to walk just in case. All right, so if you maybe have watched my whole process of buying this, it started off in Texas. I was down there, went to Fun and Sun, spoke with those guys. That was the dealer that I was like, hey, I'm not gonna buy from you because you're in Texas, I don't live here. Not only that, I wasn't near ready back in February to purchase that boat, or purchase a boat. So I didn't want to waste their time, but be prepared to walk. So if you followed my story about going down to South Carolina, having my check ready, having my insurance ready to buy a boat, the people I had asked to provide pictures days in advance, we'd been working on that deal for a couple weeks, and they had every opportunity to provide the additional pictures before I drove down. I, on my part, let boat fever get the better of me because I was itching to get down there, get a boat, and just start fishing from a boat. And I went down and kind of rushed that deal. And at the last minute when they sent me those pictures showing the damage, I walked away. And I walked away from a good boat. Scratches don't affect the fishing, guys. By all means, buy a boat with scratches. That wasn't the problem with that. The problem with that was I had asked for those pictures days in advance, and they sent them to me at the last minute, right before they closed, and I was picking the boat up on the other day. So I walked from that deal because I figured if they were trying to, keep something like that, something so minute from me, because the scratches didn't matter. I would have bought the boat with the scratches on it and been perfectly happy with the boat. But I was prepared to walk, and I did. I drove 5 hours towards South Carolina, and then I turned around. After sitting in traffic, I was prepared to walk, and you should be prepared to walk on some of these deals too, especially if it doesn't shake out, especially if the dealer isn't being truthful and upfront with you about damage to the boat, and you'll be able to tell, you'll get a feel of how the deal goes. And if you don't have that right feeling, like everything's lining up, then you're probably going to have some kind of buyer's remorse on that. So try to shy away from those kinds of deals. If it's just not the deal that you're looking for, then walk away. You're not going to offend someone if you were like, yeah, guys, thanks, I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy your boat. And that deals with private sellers and with dealerships. Next, I want you to make viable offers when you are approaching these dealerships, and just have your ducks in a row. Have a pen and paper ready, have the boat, have the model number, because these guys got to look things up in their database. They might not know everything that they have right off the bat. So have those things ready, call them. One of the times dealing with Angler's Choice, great dealership that, I never actually got to go down there, see boats or anything, but I dealt with them on the phone. And let me tell you, it was a good experience, guys, because I called up to Angler's Choice and was like, listen, I've got these 5 boats that you have in stock at your different stores. And, I've already got 5 prices in mind for those 5 boats. They were all actually Ranger boats. And when I called them and I said, listen, for this boat, I'll offer you this amount. For this boat, I'll offer you this amount, and so forth. And I went through the prices of what I was willing to pay, because just because it's listed at that doesn't mean you have to buy it at that. It was a good experience because I think within 2 hours, maybe, I feel like it was less, but it was probably 2 hours. Let's go with 2 hours. He came back to me and he said, on this boat, I can give you at this price. It's like, on this boat, the price you mentioned was acceptable, and on this other boat, the owner flat out denied that, because some of these boats will be on consignment. They have to go from, they have to call that person, get in touch with that person to see if they're willing to accept that boat price. And some of the other ones were denied. And again, guys, I wasn't going off the rail or anything. I'd done my research. I knew what, a 2008 Ranger Z520 would cost. And what it was comparable. And I used tools like Boat Trader and all that to search different radiuses to find what boat pricing normally was. I used Craigslist to see what these prices were going for on these boats with similar hours, similar accoutrements, accessories, whatever. So I knew what the pricing of the boats were going for, because there's the asking price, and then there's what they're selling for price. And generally what they're selling for price is, granted, probably about $5,000 to $3,000 less. There's probably still some meat on the bone for that, for the dealership. There's also probably people that will go less. There's probably people that won't go. You know, I experienced that with Angler's Choice, and they went through that with me. And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? You know, I'm not getting everything I want at the right price, you know, color, maybe, you know, dual poles, units, whatever. You know, I wasn't getting what I want, the amount of hours on the motor. So, you know, I decided not to go with some of the boats that were at Angler's Choice. However, truly enjoyed dealing with that dealership and would do so again. You know, I want to talk a little bit of just about my experience at Ritas Marine, because I ended up driving all the way to Kentucky to buy my Skeeter. And, you know, a lot of people won't understand, like, oh, why'd you go so far to do it? Well, you know, one, they treated me fantastically. You know, from the experience, they were happy to see me. They're happy to meet me. Granted, I'm, you know, spending a lot of money on a boat here, but, you know, still, they were genuine in their excitement to meet me and excitement to sell me a boat. You know, they gave me everything I needed for my first oil change. And, you know, the paperwork took less than 10 minutes. Honestly, I think it took less than 5 minutes because of the finance that I used. But, you know, it was so incredibly quick. Literally, when I say it took less than 10 minutes, it was less than 10 minutes. But that was part of the process too. They didn't rush me out of there. Richie, the guy who sold me the boat, took all the time in the world, you know, and it wasn't like I went there and misrepresented myself. I stated from the get-go that, hey, I'm a noob at this, you know, and he took his time. Sean took his time going over the boat, talking about different features, and just going through things that truly helped me out. You know, something as simple as saying, hey, run 89 gas in this. That's all you need to do all the time. That's what it's rated for, and according to the manual, that's what it's rated for. So, you know, the process overall was really good. I had a great time. They didn't rush me. They were genuine people, and I can't say enough about Ritas Marine. But if you're also in this North Atlantic region and you're looking for some other dealerships to deal with, truly highly recommend Mare-of-Aquai. I didn't end up buying like a Phoenix or a Bass Cat because of the price. I mean, the price of those boats would have extended me out beyond an area that I was comfortable paying. Could I afford it? Yes. Did I have to afford it? No. So that's why I didn't go with one of those two brands, but very highly recommend them as a dealership. I also recommend Angler's Choice if you get a chance to deal with them. Palmetto down in South Carolina, they seem to be great guys. Just dealing with them, they were a great dealership as well. One that I can truly speak highly of too is Lake Anna Marine Sales. You know, they're a Skeeter dealership. I guess the owner, D Kid, man, he was awesome. When I first called them, guy kept me on the phone for 2 hours at night. And when I say at night, I mean, I'm talking like 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening, guys. You know, someone's trying to get home, they worked a whole day, and he still sat there and talked with me for 2 hours, just going over stuff, talking about the boats, talking about stuff that literally I had no clue on. But, you know, was definitely that Southern hospitality of just taking care of your customer. And I tried to purchase a boat from them. They were actually, for my Skeeter dealership, they were one of the top dealers that I wanted to work with because of him, because of his way that he approached customers and how nice he was just on the phone, and the time that he spent going over things with me. Now, there were dealers to the north that I absolutely didn't deal with because I didn't like the way that they conducted themselves on the phone. They were rude when I made offers to them on the phone. Like, I can specifically say there was a FX20 that was priced at $46,000 that I offered them $43,000 for, and the dealer laughed at me, and you shouldn't let those things fly, all right? When you're dealing with somebody and you're going to spend that type of money, yeah, a dealer shouldn't do that. A salesman shouldn't do that. And let me tell you, 3 months later, that Skeeter was priced at $43,000. But that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying, demand a better service. If they treat you like that, I literally asked that one guy too. I was like, is there anybody else that I can deal with? Because I don't like dealing with you. I told him that straight over the phone, and I would have said it straight to his face if we were at his at his dealership. So guys, I hope this helps you out when dealing with these dealerships. Again, they know the prices of the boats. They know what they're willing to let them go for. They do this every day of the week. So don't think that you're gonna get one over on them. But again, if they're not treating you with respect, and if they're not, dealing with you in a manner that is pleasing to you in some form or fashion, you don't have to buy from them. And I recommend not buying from them. I recommend going to a dealership that's gonna take good care of you, that's gonna appreciate you as a consumer and wants to build that consumer equity and have you come back and buy more boats from them in the future. So guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.